Okay, so I will try to explain next about AI. So some things. So where do I start? So this is AI, right? So AI is just a collection of numbers that multiply with each other and get some kind of matrix, right? So you get some result. This result is then translated to some human readable text. What matters here is trying to explain how AI actually gets this data. So to get this data, what the AI does is query through a vector database, right? So the AI takes one of these numbers and look for these numbers on a database. The closer is the distance between the 2 points, then the more appropriate is going to be the results of the query. That will result in a better and ground response. This process not only gives a better response to the AI, this also enables long-term memory, which is also known as RAG. Generative artificial memory, I can remember. Well, anyway, so it gives more RAG. So you have the AI to have memory, to have a better response because it makes them more useful. Now, other uses that the AI has between long-term memory and just a grounded response is the ability to perform functions. So functions are just the AI throwing some JSON. I will explain in a minute what a JSON is. Throwing a JSON into some code you have. So this is another thing that AI can do. Functions, query vector databases with better responses and a long-term memory. And also right? So what is if it's so easy, why so many people is crazy about AI? If you have some challenges to AI. So some of these challenges are that the robot has to be capable of perform actions, has to be smart, understanding more by smart, better responses and long-term memory, and has to answer quickly. How quickly is considered quickly? Well, right now, ChatGPT, depending on the query, it takes something between 1 to, I don't know, n minutes. I will just exemplify and give one number, 3 seconds. Okay? Something between 1 and 3 seconds. Okay? 3 seconds. Where is the commercial opportunity in all of this? So what is the commercial opportunity, or why or how can I use AI? So if you think really well about things that AI can do, it's not that crazy. I mean, it can draw, it can make sentences, and that's pretty much it. Where is the value added of AI? So the value added when it comes to AI is that it's not a human. It can be faster than a human, and also thinks not in a close way. I mean, we think in sentences, AI thinks in numbers, and it pretty much just do the query vector. What you have to be aware is that the infrastructure is where the challenge comes in. So what do I mean by infrastructure for AI? The technology is there. I mean, you can't compete with OpenAI. There's no way in trying to compete with all of these big companies because they have so much computational power. So the commercial opportunity is not being a competitor with them, but instead use them as a ground to extend the capabilities of AI. All the challenges come with scaling. I mean, answer one people is very easy, right? But trying to answer the same query for 100 people, that's where the challenges come. What kind of challenges? You have to store the responses somehow. You have to protect the data information. You have to talk to many servers quickly. Okay, so those are the main 3 challenges. This one is the most technical of them, right? Because it's the harder to solve just by thinking in some random solution. What do I mean by this? What is actually happening, or what will actually happen, is that the end customer will have some device to interact with, and this customer is going to actually be the result of many layers that you want to have between them and your robot, right? Why do you want to have these kind of layers? You want to have these layers to protect the robot so that the customers cannot hack the robot, right? So I mean, this is a shield. This is a shield. Okay. So this is a shield, protect the robot. You want to protect your robot from hackers. You want to connect the user responses and the robot to other services, Google, Amazon, Facebook, right? You want to connect your robot from the databases and you want to do all of this through the internet. Okay, so how do we tackle all of these things without losing the scope that you have to do everything through the internet? Well, the easiest way to do it is assigning one server to every one of these things, right? So imagine you have, well, actually, I have the robot on this side. I will try to make the user here. The easiest way to do it is to having one computer or one virtual machine for every one of these. So a virtual machine. A virtual machine is nothing else than a script running on a server somewhere in the cloud, right? So every one of these is going to be considered some kind of application your robot must have to serve the end customer. So that's the value added you can have with AI. It's not the technology itself, but the infrastructure you must build to serve the end customer. Because you will have a server that perform actions through functions. So that's one virtual machine. This is a cloud, okay? So cloud. So you want to have one virtual machine that perform actions where all your functions live. You want to have one virtual machine that performs the queries. The queries is going to be like a very important part in everything related to the, well, to make your AI smart. So I will put database here. I'm going to put JSON here, which is going to give them the ability to perform actions. And you want to be efficient doing all of this. So you will probably want to have some cloud that works like an email, okay, that works something like a postman and decides where the information should go. Then connect them to your AI, and then throw the response back to the customer, right? Now remember, now additionally to everything, to all of this, you want to have some kind of filter here. Because the user may be, I will put irrational, but it's not that the word. I don't know how to explain it. Like the user can throw responses to the robot in very random ways. So the user can throw random stuff to the robot. The user can try to talk about politics or something that may put your company at risk. The robot may, the user may try to break or get some kind of information to your robot.